The planet Thessari Prime was a marvel of muscular grace, ruled by a matriarchal alien race known as the Virellans. Towering and elegant, with shimmering violet skin and eyes like polished obsidian, Virellan women believed one universal truth. Strength was beauty, and only Virellan males could offer that strength. They were wrong. For centuries, their culture had celebrated brawn above all. Virellan males, 8-foot beasts of muscle and brutality, were the pinnacle of attractiveness. They competed in ritual fights and bone-snapping dances of dominance to win mates. Romance was battle, and affection was shown through displays of raw physical prowess. So when a Terran diplomatic envoy arrived, no one expected the stir caused by a 5'10", scarred, sarcastic, and quietly confident human named Elias Grant. Elias was the ship engineer, not even meant to join the official welcoming committee. But the ambassador had fallen ill from the Thessari pollen, and Elias was pushed forward, wrench in hand, still smelling faintly of engine grease. He stood between two armored Virellan guards, completely calm. His posture didn't scream dominance, his muscles didn't bulge through his suit, and his voice didn't echo like a war horn. But when the high matriarch Lady Thessari approached, she stopped in her tracks. Not because Elias bowed, but because he looked directly into her eyes and smiled. Not a grin of conquest. Not a challenge. A warm, confident, amused smile like he'd seen gods before and found them rather ordinary. "You're shorter than expected," she said with a raised brow. "You're taller than most buildings back home," Elias replied. "Hope you're not scared of heights." The room fell silent. Word of Elias spread quickly. The Virellan women were intrigued, not by his strength, but by his presence. His calm. The way he moved, smooth and deliberate. How he fixed a fusion pipe while humming off-key. How he joked without aggression. How he smiled when others might growl. Some found it unsettling. Others found it irresistible. The first to break tradition was Thessari Prime, a battle commander known for crushing enemy skulls with her thighs. She approached Elias in the engineering bay, her voice curious. "Human, why do you not show your strength?" Elias didn't look up from the panel he was repairing. "Because I don't need to. You already seem impressed." Thessari blinked. That was forward. Yet, instead of being challenged, she found herself grinning. "You speak boldly." Elias finally looked at her, his eyes gleaming with something dangerous yet oddly gentle. "No. I speak honestly. There's a difference." Thessari followed him around the ship that day. So did 2 more Virellan females by the end of the week. It became a trend. Virellan women from all strata, engineers, diplomats, even warriors, came to observe Elias. Not all understood the appeal at first. No flexing. No roaring. No dramatic leaps. But there was a strange magnetism to him. He listened when they spoke. He laughed when they teased. He helped without needing to prove himself. The Virellan males were enraged. How could this tiny Terran outshine them? They challenged Elias to ritual combat. He refused. "You want to fight me to impress your mates," he said. "How about you try listening to them first?" Scandalous. Blasphemous. Effective. Things came to a head when Lady Thessari herself summoned Elias to the Grand Hall. "You're causing a cultural ripple," she said. "My warriors are distracted. My scholars are confused. My daughter refuses to court her chosen champion because she's reading Terran literature about love." Elias scratched his neck. "I can stop talking to them if it's causing trouble." Thessari studied him. "No. I want to understand. What do you see in us? We are taller, stronger, louder. Does that not intimidate you?" Elias smiled again, that disarming, honest smile. "You mistake size for power. True strength is knowing when not to use it." The matriarch froze. Her kind had never considered that. Soon after, Elias was invited to participate in a unity trial, a symbolic event where males and females worked together to solve problems, usually an arena of performance and shows of strength. Instead, Elias suggested a new challenge: build something together. He and Zara constructed a functional energy shield in half the usual time. He didn't lead through domination, he collaborated, taught, listened. For many Virellan women, it was the first time a male had treated them as equals, not prizes. Cheers erupted, not roars of war, but laughter and joy. Then came the final test, the choosing. Every decade, the Virellan royal line selected suitors through combat and demonstration. But this time, for the first time in history, Lady Sarcastic offered a personal challenge. If I, a matriarch, find no male worthy in battle, perhaps I must try another kind of strength. She stepped down into the hall, stood before Elias, and extended her hand. "Walk with me," she said. And Elias, ever the non-traditionalist, took her hand without kneeling. In the years that followed, the culture of the Thessari Prime evolved. The importance of emotional intelligence, humor, and empathy gained recognition alongside physical strength. Human men were no longer oddities. They were ambassadors of a new kind of masculinity. Elias remained on the Thessari Prime, not as a warrior, but as a teacher, a friend, and eventually, the chosen mate of Lady Sarcastic. He never lifted a war axe. He never crushed a rival. He simply listened, understood, and stood firm without needing to raise a fist. And in doing so, he redefined what it meant to be strong.